Get ready with me while I tell you about how my family escaped the Liberian Civil War. Okay, so this is my mom's story. She has like 6 other brothers and sisters that have more stories, but essentially my mom was on her way home from a doctor's appointment. She was pregnant when the war broke out. So Liberia had 2 civil wars from the times of 1989 to 2003, I believe. The war got pretty bad in 1990, and my mom and dad had to evacuate to Guinea. They went first to Sierra Leone, and then they went to Guinea. My dad had family in Gikuru, which is where he's from. At the time they left, my mom was like 6 months pregnant, and they had to spend like over 2 weeks in a refugee camp, like sleeping on the floor every night before they could actually get to Guinea. And the war was pretty bad. I feel like people don't really learn about it here, but it was between 100,000 to 250,000 people that were killed during it and millions displaced. So my parents left Liberia in 1990 and stayed in Gikuru until 1996. And this time they were separated from my mom's side of the family. So all her brothers and sisters, she didn't know where they were, and she didn't know where her mom was, her dad was, anything. Until in 1996, she saw someone she knew from home and asked him to ask around Monrovia, Liberia, if he knew where her family was. It's so crazy because back then you couldn't write a letter, you couldn't call people, you literally just had to ask around and hope somebody had seen your family. Thankfully, the man asked around, and they found out that my grandmother and most of my family had come to America. They had moved to East Tennessee. This was the first time my mom had talked to her family or been able to like hear from them in almost 7 years. It's so crazy to think about because my parents weren't that much older than me when all of this was happening. My grandmother was able to send money to help us get to Ghana and start our paperwork to come to America, and we lived in Ghana for about a year before we were able to get the process going. And then me, my mom, and my sisters were able to come to America the end of 1998. So to recap, the war started in 1989, got really bad in 1990, and we didn't come to America till 1998. So that was almost like 10 years of my mom not being able to see her family, her brothers, sisters, parents, all this while navigating a civil war, 3 kids under the age of 7, and just going country to country and trying to find your way out. I think it's important to share these stories because I feel like people don't really think about the effects of war. Like I said, 100 to 250,000 people killed, millions displaced, and me and my family were the lucky ones. We had my dad who lived in Guinea that we could go to his family. We had family that had come to America already that could help us with the process, but a lot of people don't have that. And that's not even getting into the psychological effects of, running and, hiding all the time and being fearful for your life. I think it's important to share the story because oftentimes during war, the people most affected are innocent civilians, and their stories always go unshared. I encourage you to just have a little bit of compassion. These are real people and real stories. So thanks for watching. Love ya.